Welcome in, you fellow troglodytes. Today is a sad day, as some of you may or may not have seen. The DVD Patchnotes came out on what they're going to be reworking on the next update. And if I am completely honest, I think this is the worst update I've ever seen when it comes to Billy. All the other things they addressed are looking genuinely fine. I really don't give a shit about it. I never run slowdown, so I actually don't care if slowdowns get nerfed to the ground, because yet again, I don't run them. It's unlucky for people that do. The survivor buffs or nerfs, whatever you want to call it, I play 50-50 killer survivor, so yeah, unlucky team, unlucky. Hey, I'm not gonna mold over it. The only thing that I'm molding over is the Hillbilly rework that they're doing. I got a message instantly from people saying, hey, they're reworking Hillbilly. And trust me, I was sitting at work thinking this is the best day of my life. I was a little bit fucked because I had to post my R's on Twitter, but hey, unlucky. But then I started reading the patch notes, as most of you probably have done as well. I have them here with me. The Hillbilly patch notes start off super amazing. Starting your chainsaw and actually having a chainsaw run will now not overheat them as much. The amount of heat generated from both starting and continuing to rev your chainsaw have been reduced, making the overheat mechanic almost a non-factor when used in loops and over short distances, much akin to how we used to play. Insane. Like literally, I read that sentence, I was like, it's cray gasping at work. Just as before, heat will begin to dissipate as soon as the chainsaw sprint ends, meaning most of the heat generated from short sprints will already be gone by the time your chainsaw is ready for another attack. Lovely, chef's kiss. The amount of heat generated while chainsaw sprinting, on the other hand, has been increased slightly. Though the changes above will help counteract this, longer sprints will cause your chainsaw to overheat quicker. So be careful to not let it overheat in an empty corner of the map. Absolutely fine. The only type of Billy that has a problem with this is a Drift King Billy, which is a fun build and is not something you run to be viable. But then, last but not least, we've toned down the Doom Engravings and Death Engravings add-ons. These add-ons will provide less movement speed than before and increase heat generation further. So, BHVR started off like, hey guys, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do something you've been asking for months, years. And then they took finger. Literally, they made some of the best changes that people have been asking for. We were like, holy motors, BHVR started listening to the community. And then they just literally came through the back door. Last but not least, we've toned down the Tomb Engraving and Dead Engraving add-on. Those are the only two add-ons, in combination with Low Pro as a third, that actual decent Billies run. There are no other add-ons being ran by decent Billies. You always have a Doom Engraving, the fun Billy killers have a Death Engraving, and then the people that really want to be viable have a Low Pro. The only add-on that is used in every Billy's build gets fucked. And fucked hard. And I hear what you guys are gonna say. Oh, Sofa, it's only 1%. They're only gonna tone it down with 1% of speed add-on. That doesn't matter. It's the whole concept of BHVR touching Billy's add-ons in a negative way before addressing Blight add-on. Yet again, Blight mains, I love you guys to pieces, but let's be real, Blight has some add-ons that are scuffed. Spirit, mother-daughter, still there. So these add-ons are not being changed in any way possible, whilst those are the most invasive ones. Yet Billy, nobody ever molded over Billy. Probably one of the developers got curved by some curved Billy with a Doom Engraving. It was like, oh, this is OP, this is too strong, problems, team, problems. Because there's no other way you can justify this happening. Genuinely, there is no way on earth you can justify this nerf. Now, there are a few things that I want to address on this, because yet again, it's easy for me to say like, oh, this is bullshit, but then you need to come up with an idea. Otherwise, it's not constructive criticism, which I do not agree on. If you say A, you also need to say B. For the people that don't know yet, my name is SofaReks, I'm a Hillbilly main, I have thousands of hours in Billy, I only play Billy. If you look through my YouTube channel, you'll see that I have many videos, montages, like I genuinely don't play anything else. Billy is the most fun killer ever. But what are the main issues currently with Billy? That is something that a lot of people cannot answer properly. I have a few. First of all, you have the map cluttering. There's a lot of debris, there's less traversability in comparison to the old maps. There is many strong tiles that you can chain. It also depends on RNG, I 100% agree. But I do think it's codable to say if tile A spawns here, then tile B cannot generate right next to tile A. should be something that is codable. Yet again, I'm not a coder. Could be that it's not possible, but I genuinely think it is. I have friends that have literally made maps by themselves. Schmol made videos on it. So I know that it's possible to code this, but still. Strong tiles being chained is an overall issue that some other killers also see. But being a Billy that wants to use his chainsaw, it can sometimes be really, really annoying. Out of all Billy's add-ons, that is my second point, 2 are viable, Doom Engraving and Low Pro. Those are the 2 really viable ones. Then you have 2 that are usable, Def Engraving in combination with Doom Engraving, and Discuss-worthy Apex Muffler in combination with Def Engraving. You see me coming with these, Combination. Always combined with Def Engraving. Def Engraving the strongest add-on, being nerfed right now, right? Strongest. When I say strongest, that doesn't mean strong. It's the strongest out of all the add-ons I just said. It's not strong. His base kit speed is too low, as a third. Billy, base kit? Yet again, I said this yesterday on podcast from Deadly Naya stream. Zayn is the only one that can get people downed with base kit Billy. I don't know how, I don't know why, don't ask me. But base kit Billy, if you get caught by a base kit Billy that is curving, you genuinely made a ginormous mistake. That is on the survivor. And it shouldn't be up to the survivor making mistakes to actually get it down. That is what's wrong with base kit Billy. That is why you need speed add-ons. I'm already gonna say this right now, but I will come back to that later, what the best solutions are to fix everything. But I do think that some of the add-ons that we have should become base kit. I'm gonna talk over that a little bit later on in the video. Another nerf that happened but not a lot of people know or actually addressed properly is that there was a shadow nerf a few months ago. Normally when you come out of a chainsaw run with Billy, you had somewhat of a speed boost. So what happens is a survivor runs towards a pallet, you barely miss him, but afterwards you would have had a speed boost. So you could actually catch up when the survivor was going around to get to that pallet one more time. You were actually able to have won them because of that speed boost coming out of your chainsaw run. They shadow nerfed this, it's completely gone. So now when you end your chainsaw run, you just have base speed, super slow. And of course, something that I've said a million times, indoor maps are such a weakness. But it's discussable because it's also a weakness for hunters, for example. Yet again, indoor maps is something completely different, but it is an issue for Billy. On top of that, it's not really a main issue anymore for Billy, but it's a change in playstyle. A lot of survivors have become better, which is normal. We're 6 to 7 years into the game. A lot of people became better and became accustomed to playing against Billy. People right now, and I notice that play quite a lot of Billy, genuinely know when to drop their pallet, when to leave a loop, how to leave the loop so that I can't curve them. So people became better against Billy, which is a really big issue at this point, especially when he gets nerfed even more. On top of that, you have the meta shifts, mostly in healing and endurance. Healing is not as much of an issue to Billy, because Billy has an instant down. Super OP, by the way. The main issue is endurance, on top of that. A lot of endurance states that don't really help when playing Billy, but yet again, that is an overall issue that also goes to other killers. Now, what I personally think are genuinely monkey ideas from BHVR and that I just can't grasp my head around. Nerfing a Billy add-on rather than buffing them, whilst everyone in the DBD community agrees that Billy add-ons are garbage. Yet they choose to nerf him over buffing him. There are so many busted add-ons on other killers. Think about Blight, think about Spirit. Those are the 2 most common ones that I see in my head. Whilst Billy has no strong add-ons. There's genuinely not a single add-on on Billy that people say, oh, OP, can't play this game, I'm gonna DC, I'm going next. Billy has nothing like that. I genuinely believe that somewhere in the BHVR building there is a monkey sitting behind a computer, looking at a spreadsheet, which they thought, if you see a number that is higher than the second most used add-on, then make sure to report this, because that means this add-on should be OP, and we should get it out of the game. That is the only possibility on how they nerf certain add-ons. Because yet again, I cannot tell you one person that malts over a speed add-on on Billy. On Blight, yes. On Billy, no. So if it's not a monkey that they trained to look at numbers in a spreadsheet, then I don't know who does this. But it's definitely not somebody that plays their own game. There is not a single way possible that this is done by somebody that has actually touched the game for more than 100 hours, let alone touch Billy for more than 2 hours. No way possible. And then the last thing that they did at BHVR is nerfing tiles and interactions, because some killers fuck up on it. So you have to imagine Wesker comes out, and Wesker fucks up on the chest on, for example, Orbot, Snowblower. Rather than fixing their own killer, fixing Wesker that has introduced the problem was same with Blight back in the days. They fuck up the tiles and the interactions. So they change tiles and interactions rather than fixing the killer that brought the problem with it. It's band-aid on top of band-aid on top of band-aid on top of band-aid. I swear, they've got a mummy somewhere. There's a mummy running around full of band-aid. That's BHVR. That's how I see BHVR right now. DBD, a mummy full of band-aid and tiles and whatever. Now after this whole 12-minute rant or whatever it is, I want to say, what are the best solutions? Because yet again, I can rant and I can fucking mold and whatever, but I need to come up with solutions. Great. I know that BHVR will never listen to me because I'm not a big guy, I'm not a folk whisperer, I'm not whatever the fuck they want. But I'm somebody that plays Billy on a daily. The best solutions, and I've matched them for them to show them how easy it is. Because you know, sometimes you need to reach out with a hand of help. Easy solution, as said before. Make the following add-ons base kit. Heavy Clutch, Def Engraving and Apex Muffler. These 3 add-ons will fix a lot of problems. If you make Heavy Clutch base kit, the interactions with all the tiles will be less scuffed. Billy players know what I mean. You have the tile on Auto Haven with the tires where everybody bumps because you can't see the collision, because collision is too low according to your camera. Put in Heavy Clutch and it's already gonna be fixed. It's gonna fix a lot. It's gonna fix like 50% of the interactions that Billy players mulled over. Make Dead Engraving a base kit add-on will already up his base kit speed, which is a problem, which I addressed before, of course. So make Dead Engraving, the yellow engraving, make that one a base kit add-on. And it's gonna fix a lot for base kit Billy. On top of that, Apex Muffler, mostly for overheat. Now, if we talk about overheat incoming, or the rework on overheat that is incoming, I would like to see what it's gonna do. But for now, Apex Muffler, in my opinion, should be added as base kit. Another easy solution, add the speed back when coming out of the chainsaw run. So when I said that they shadow nerfed a few months ago or something, add that back to being base kit. Already gonna do a lot when it comes to looping. Another easy one is, when overheated, gain a speed boost. That way, if you're an actual curve Billy, and you're still working with double engravings like I do at every game, and you do get overheated because you're going against a really good survivor that knows how to dodge your chainsaws, give him a little speed boost. I'm not talking 10 to 20%, I'm talking 2 to maximum 5%. 5% would be a lot, but a 2% speed boost could make the difference between getting a clubber or not. A medium solution or medium hard solution, overhaul all the other add-ons, which are garbage. I mean, have you seen the list of add-ons and what they do? I have thousands of add-ons that I've never used. Same like other killers, huh? Not saying this is Billy specific, but Billy just doesn't have any really good add-on. A fun idea, for example, for overhauls and add-ons. This idea comes from Deadly Naya. Yesterday when we had the podcast on her stream, she came up with the idea of having an add-on just like Booba. When you rev your chainsaw, that you will see auras around you. Could be a super fun add-on for Billy. Genuinely. Could really work out. Make it a 12 to 16 meter or whatever. It could really be fun. Another one that I came up with, together with Henu, is breaking a pellet makes your overheat gone. That would be a really, really good add-on. That add-on could literally, for me, be purple or eerie. When you break a pellet, the overheat is gone. That genuinely would make a difference on certain tiles. And then last but not least, it's a hard one, so I will address this myself. This is way harder to do, and I don't think this is possible. But fix the maps. Fix the clutter, fix the scuffed hitboxes, fix the debris. There doesn't need to be debris on the ground that we can't see on a killer's cam. Like literally, if you're running killer, you're not gonna be looking at the ground, where's the debris, where's the debris? But with Billy, you genuinely sometimes have to. If you don't know how to properly play Billy, you have to look for debris on the ground to make sure that you don't bump. That's just stupid. Your camera even doesn't allow it when you're doing a chainsaw run. For all you people that just watched the video, I hope you do understand my frustration with this. I am somebody that has a lot of love for Billy. I've done so many videos on him, I've done so many projects on him. I'm currently co-leader of one of the biggest clans ever made for Billy's. I think I've put my time into Billy, and seeing this happen to him after so many cries for help, after so many cries for a buff rather than a nerf, they just don't listen. I really do hope this video helps you in some way, and I hope to see some love coming for this video as well. I hope to see you all, as you did yesterday on Twitter already, to voice the fact that you're all mad. Let's try and make this a better place again. Let's try to make BHVR notice this video, other videos as well, other opinions as well. But I genuinely think that without being biased, I think my opinion is one of the better ones. And I think that every Billy player agrees on my opinion with this one. If not, I would love to hear it in the comments. But genuinely hope to see some change again. Quappers. I wasn't meant to make this video today, but here I am yet again. Enjoy your weekend as always. And we'll see each other tomorrow on the 1v1 Billy event.
I've been daisy, life is getting hazy. I can't take it, life is fucking crazy. Yeah, I'm new to this, don't know much, my baby. Can you help